One of my favorite things to expose would be the whole notion of this real estate guru. If anything, I'm the anti-guru. Because what's interesting is, or unfortunately what happens is in the seminar world, most of the self-proclaimed real estate gurus are in fact not gurus. They do very little real estate, if any real estate. So, I think one of the things that people really have to be aware of is these real estate gurus, you have to make sure they're real. So, is this guru real, or is this guru just an information marketer? And it doesn't mean that the information's bad. The challenge is the difference between someone who is an active practitioner that actually has a legitimate real estate practice, that they can substantiate that. They can give you addresses of properties they've done recently, recently being within the last, say, 6 months. That is the person you want to get your information from. So there's a lot of people out there that, have these wonderful books and tapes and great claims on how you can be a millionaire overnight. Unfortunately, and those are the ones that are really pretty and done well and look snazzy. Unfortunately, what happens for the end users, it's really difficult for the person who wants real estate information, for the person who wants to learn how to get wealthy. If they get on the internet, how do they determine who's real and who's not real? Which guru is in fact a practitioner and which one is just a bunch of rhetoric? So, again, one of the things I would tell people is, how do you debunk whether it's truth or myth? How do you know that they're an active practitioner or just someone slick at marketing? So here's what's great about real estate. You can always find out if a guru is real or not. All you got to do is ask for addresses of transactions that they have recently done. So what you can do is, because everything in real estate is public record, nothing is a secret in real estate. Anyone can figure out how much I paid for a house, when I bought a house, what I sold it for, how long I held it. So everything is transparent in real estate. What I borrowed against it, and even you can kind of figure out, if you sharpen your pencil, you can figure out how much I actually made on a place. So you could bring me any investor's deal, and I can go on public record, find out when he bought it, what he paid for it, how much money he borrowed, who he borrowed money from, when he sold it, and through some simple math, I can tell you what the guy earned, what he really made on the deal. So I think as myth buster number one is, buyer beware. Not all self-proclaimed real estate gurus know their butt from a hole in the ground when it comes to real estate investing. Every single step of the way is not theoretical. It's not wishful thinking. Everything I teach is what I actually practice in the real world. Whatever Bob and I are doing in the real world is what we share with people. So when I say, look, here, let me show you how to find money. This is how I work with my investors. Let me show you how we find deals. This is how we find our deals. Here's how you work with a real estate agent. These are all things that are actively being applied. So what happens is a lot of gurus in the past that might have invested in real estate, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. But any of the information that they would share with you from their experiences 3 years ago would be the kiss of death today. It does not work. So in real estate, it's really important that people get a strong understanding of where they're gathering the information from, and that information come from someone who's didn't practice real estate 5 years ago, but someone that's actually in the trenches day in, day out, that has a real estate practice. It's kind of like multi-level marketing. Everyone wants to tell you, oh yeah, you could be a diamond, a whiz bang boom, and you can make $100,000 a month. Really? Why don't you show me one of your bank statements? I'm in if you can prove to me you're making $100,000 a month. Well, when you ask them that, you always get some cockamamie answer. Or the stockbroker who's calling you that tells you, you need to buy, whatever this company XYZ shares. This is going to boom. It's going to go through the roof. Great. Show me the statement of how many shares you own. Always some cockamamie answer as to why they can't do that. So anytime, someone's talking to me about real estate, it's pretty simple. Tell me about it. Tell me about the last 3 or 4 deals you've done. No different than me interviewing a contractor who tells me, oh yeah, we've worked with flippers. We know how to do it. Great. Give me 4 or 5 addresses that you've recently done. But if they can't give me 4 or 5 addresses, they're not real. So when I've had investors, as a matter of fact, last just Saturday, I had a call from a new investor. I've talked to him 2 times, 3 times, and he flat out asked me, he goes, okay, well, I've looked you up on the internet, blah, blah, blah. Do you have some addresses I can look at? So I fired him several different addresses. I gave him like 5 addresses and said, check them out. It's all public record. So again, the number one thing anyone looking into real estate education should be looking for, a legitimate real estate guru who actually practices what he preaches. And then when you find the guy, have the courage to just flat out ask him, look, I want proof. If you really say you're successful at real estate, if you really say that you're a full-time practitioner and that you're teaching me real-world, current, fresh stuff, not something rehashed from another internet blog I read or some book that was written in the 70s that was popular, but I want real deal stuff that's happening today in the market today so I can go out and make money today. The first thing you're going to ask for is those addresses. Give me 3, 4 addresses of deals you've done in the last 6 months. Someone can go online. They can validate that. That's your real guru. That's the guy you get your information from. So less concerned about the pretty pictures and the wonderful sales pitch, more focused on the core value of information from someone who practices what they preach.